When we met, I asked about her past, and while she didn't disclose the details, nor I asked for it, she gave me the impression that she was in 3 or 4 long-term relationships. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, gonna go over a story titled, Me, a 34-year-old male, dumping my girlfriend, a 27-year-old female, because of her former past. And guys, this story is different than a lot of the ones I go over. This one is coming from the perspective of the guy. Normally in stories like this, when the girl she's whining because the guy dumped her because of her past, this is from the guy's perspective. And you're going to see in this story, guys, like others, he was with his girl here for a little while now. Not too long, but long enough. And then one thing led to another to him discovering about her past. It wasn't like she volunteered it. And that in her past, she used to not just have higher numbers, but engaged in group activities. I got to speak in code here. The word actually begins with an O. Okay? And she was doing this with this guy who is as he describes, a 50-something hippie. Okay? The long hair, the lifestyle, he was just a total lowlife. And she was doing this guy and his friends in the poly lifestyle, engaging in the O's, for years. And obviously this guy is completely repulsed by this, and he kicks her to the curb. But you're going to see, what's the entertaining part here, is what she does, the lengths she goes to get him back. You're going to see that she gets this guy, her former lover, and his whole little group of hippies living the poly lifestyle, to change this guy's mind. No joke. And I thought it'd be a very good one to go over here, guys, to show you can't make this shit up. How, again, you're going to see also, I forgot to mention, that she deliberately chose this guy because this guy telling the story is conservative. She was looking for a conservative guy to settle with. So I tell you all the time, they'll be wild in their early years with Chad and Tyrone. The bad boys are guys like this. But they look for that conservative guy, except she's admitting it. And the conservative guy never gets to hear the true stories about her past, and usually doesn't get the really good stuff in the bedroom department. And this guy handles it right, kicks her to the curb. And this is a 2-part series. This is really long. First part isn't as long, second part really long. And I'm not going to do a 15-page story all at one time. But definitely one you will remember and definitely entertaining. So, starts off, he says, a few words about me. I am a computer engineer with a good income and fitness. I'm a nerd on steroids. He's not really on steroids, but he's joking around. I also have a small side business. I try to be nice to people, and I think I'm someone that you will describe as a good catch. I understand how attraction works, and I had my short players phase, but I always prefer to stay in monogamous relationships with the view of starting a family and having kids. So right off the bat, you can see this is a guy, he's 34, he does well for himself, makes good money, side business, all that. He understands he's a guy of value. Works out, hit the gym, the type of guy that I want you guys to be. The type of guy is going to tolerate any bullshit. Some people didn't like how he talks about himself like he's bragging, but he's not trying to do that. He's trying to establish, this is who I am. About a year ago, I exited from a 2-year toxic relationship where I was cheated on twice. The first time I was able to say to myself that the cheating ex was young, naive, and stupid. The second time I was not able to forgive her, and I dumped her, and I dumped the ex. Since then I have trust issues towards women, but it never stopped me from dating. Nevertheless, I still believe in marriage. Smack! Well, you all know why I'm doing that. So this guy's been cheated on. And he says, yes, in the past he went through a player phase, but that was not engaging in lots of people all at the same time and people twice his age, living a scummy lifestyle, what you're going to find out. 2 months ago, I met the girl and we just clicked. We had good conversations and we were definitely attracted to each other. Oh, my bad, 2 months ago. She seemed to be quite mature and aligned with my vision of having a family. We had our portion of disagreements, but generally it was smooth sailing. She's a genuine 8 and dresses nicely. It seemed we had a future together, till recently, that is. What could he be referring to? When we met, I asked about her past, and while she didn't disclose the details, nor I asked for it, she gave me the impression that she was in 3 to 4 long-term relationships. Maybe that's her way of saying 3 to 4 dudes all with me in the relationship. I guarantee that's how it'd be twisted around. So, this is the impression he got. After the previous cheating, I was very careful with the selection of my dates, and something was telling me that that's not the whole truth. However, because I'm still oversensitive, I ignored my gut feelings and we dated. Never doubt your gut. Always listen to your gut, guys. That common theme to all these stories. A week ago, I heard talking to an older man on the phone. She thought I was sleeping, but I overheard a few bits like she does remember their first time, and his friends. It sounded like they were quite intimate in the past. So, what do we have here? She is involved with this guy. Meanwhile, he overheard her having a conversation with an ex. That doesn't sound like a very honest and truthful person to me. Not someone that's relationship material. Someone that's likely to cheat. Right there, her character. I didn't let her know that I listened, but it drilled my head. 2 days later, I sat with her and we talked about this phone call. She was very evasive. Of course, that's how it works. But after 2 hours of talking, I had quite a vision of what she was up to in the past. In brief, when she was young, 20 to 23 years old, she dated an older man who was into threesomethings and the other thing with an O. I literally can't say that because I did a video one time with it was flagged when I said that word, but ORGIES. There you go. She was a willing participant in those. However, once she understood that there was no future in this relationship, she moved on. In her own words, she understood that for the family she wanted, she needed a more conservative, old-school man. Since then, she tried to find a guy like me, and it took a while, 3 years. Right there. She's admitting what I've been saying all along, because you don't ever hear them admit it. They have their wild phase. The bad boys, the college guys, the Chad and Tyrones. There I said Chad again, so the FBI is going to flag me. And she's done. In her case, a guy twice her age and all his older friends plowing her. But then realizing I'm not exactly going to have a family with these types of guys, so I'm going to go look for my nice guy, my conservative guy. The thing is, this guy's conservative, and he's successful, does well, but he's not a nice guy. He's not that at all. So her impression of him was off. In that moment, something flipped in me, and I just couldn't see her as the same girl. Who could? I asked why she lied to me when I asked about her past relationships, and she replied she panicked because she thought I wouldn't date her. Well, no shit. He says in parentheses, she was very right. For the next few days, I try not to think about it, but I just cannot be intimate with her anymore. Previously, we were hooking up like bunnies, but we tried to have you know what a few times, and I can't get a hard one. So, his whole view of her is now changed. And he's only been with her for a couple months. I was mistaken. I thought it was longer than that at the beginning of the story. But this, at least, he's finding out early on. And he has every right to want to kick her to the curb. Now, he did say, I was a little bit of a player for a while. But that's one thing if it's just, one-on-one. And it sounded like they became actual relationships. But it's a whole other ballgame with multiple people plowing her. No guy wants that. That ain't marriage material. And so he's handling it accordingly, and every guy has the right. She can choose what she does with her body, and he can choose who he chooses a relationship with. He says here, I had quite a few flings on my own, but nothing compared to full-blown ORGIES that she had. She said she changed, and she's not the same person. But I just cannot reconcile the past her with the new her. If she's not the same person, why is she still talking to this guy? They're supposed to be in a relationship, and she's talking to him while she thought this guy was asleep. She's keeping tabs on her old hippie boyfriend. She sent me some articles where people are able to separate and move on, but I think I have too logical mindset for it. She has the same ID document. I didn't ask for any more details of her past in case we wanted to continue dating. I don't want them stuck in my head. Last weekend, I requested that she move back to her apartment. We still talk, and she is eager to continue the relationship, but I don't know if that's possible for me anymore. I'm quite a masculine man, and we are quite territorial. This is the type of thing that you're going to see more and more as time goes on, guys. As we're in the era, as I call Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, and you all know the stories and how The gals are quite wild nowadays, thanks to the sexual revolution brought by feminism, and nowadays you can't be a strong, empowered gal unless you've hooked up with the entire college, and the college 10 miles away. This is what you have, and there are going to be consequences to people's actions. There's going to be repercussions. And don't get me started on how people flaunt themselves on social media and OnlyFans and people doing videos and popping up on the internet. No guy wants that. No way. When we talked, I suggested she date more experienced guys than me, but she started crying. Of course, it's hypocrisy because I had a quite colorful past of my own, but it was always one-on-one, not three-somethings. I am jealous of her previous experiences and how easy it was for her while I had to dine and wine my dating prospects. Okay, boo-hoo, dude. But it is what it is. A pretty girl can easily get guys lining up a mile away to nail her, you know? But a guy does have to wine and dine and all that. Most guys have to do that. It is what it is. I don't feel insecure about her exes. They are some hippies, not in my league. But I feel very small in comparison to her previous sex experiences. I feel like a sucker. I worked hard all those years while she had the extreme sex. I understand how the dating world is now, but I really cannot imagine her being the mother of my children. Okay, there you go. You have every right to end it and walk away. It was her body, her choice. She could do what she wanted. Fair enough. Well, now he has the choice who he's in a relationship with. And if she wanted to break up with him because she found out something in his past that she didn't like, she has the right to break up with him. The thing is, a gal breaks up with a guy, nobody has a problem with it. A guy breaks up with a girl for her past or whatever it is, and it's the end of the world. Would you have any advice? Am I immature for breaking up with her? No, bro. You're doing what's best for you. Also, if I was able to counter my jealousy, would it be fair to require her to do the same? Have those three-somethings. Thank you for your replies. Some of them are quite nasty. So, he's now going to go a few minor updates here, and then I will then do part 2 to this story later on today. But I'm going to say this to this guy and any other guy in a situation like this. If there's something about your girl you don't like, whether that's about her personality, who she is right now, or you find out about things about her past that you're like, no. That ain't relationship material. I don't want that. As my wife and mother of my children, or I found out that she did all this stuff back in the day with all the bad boys, but I'm getting the bare minimum, you have a right to break up with her. So that's what you should do. And as it turns out, when this guy posted this guy got bombarded with the nastiest emails from all the poly community and people like that. Now, a few little minor edits and updates here, then I'll wrap this up. This guy says here, number 1, damn, I was not expecting such aggression. Being called an a-hole and told douche is just plain stupid. I don't know why I'm being called judgmental. My past is not that extreme as hers. I'm entitled to be not comfortable with her past sex life and have any deal breakers that I want. Correct. Of course he's getting a lot of hate. You know, it's interesting. The gals are allowed to have 50 deal breakers and have a long laundry list of requirements for the perfect guy. But if a guy has any deal breakers at all, he's a villain. 2, currently I think the best way for me to immerse myself in that hookup culture, and one of those things will happen. Either A, I either find a chaste girl and have a family with her, or I F enough girls to get this out of my system. I guess I'm back to the dating pool. No, you don't need to become like her just to make yourself feel like you're with it in today's world. No, don't lower yourself to be like the rest of these people. 3, of course, it's about my ego. It's about a feeling of inadequate to her. I don't care about that old hippie of her or other exes, but I just don't see any way I could ever catch up to her. He's saying that now, but it isn't just that. He just doesn't want to be with someone like this and doesn't want her to be the mother of his kids. She cannot bring this experience of ORGIES to the relationship on her own. That requires swinging, polyamory, etc. This is the stuff which is the nemesis for any marriage. I also don't see a way I can let those feelings that way. Let me say this again. I can't see a way I can let go of those feelings the way I wanted to end this. I will suggest that the girls stay friends with benefits or not. I don't care, and that's the most I can do. He missed some words in this sentence here. Number 4. Maybe it was not clear from the post. I actually can cold approach girls en masse in farm numbers. Dude, we're not doubting your ability to meet girls. Okay, let's just relax. I'm quite proficient in text game. I can escalate during dates, etc. I'm not a dating guru, but I can hold my own and get the next girl in a short time. I could definitely have the same experience as her given time. Dude, you're getting a little carried away here. I just never wanted to be a playboy. It's time consuming, and instead I focused on my work and my career and business and improving myself as a potential partner. There you go. He had the right plan. Work on his career, rise up in his career, start a side business, hitting the gym, building himself up. That's what all guys should do. Not spend all the time being a playboy, and he said he doesn't want to do that. Number 5, he says, women have the right to do what they want with their bodies. That is correct. However, I have the right to have my opinion of their past and be jealous or disgusted by it. Correct. If that makes me insecure in your book, that's fine by me. Here, I have no chance to recreate any of her past experiences, and it will drill me forever. Get over it, dude. If I'm marrying a girl, I want to be with her best, especially sexually, because it's important to me. If she were into some kinks, we could do them together and be equal. I'm 99% open to various things, except, well, some things I'm not going to mention here. But 3 years of ORGIES, multiple partners, that's a deal breaker. That'd be a deal breaker for any guy. At number 6, she will come over the weekend to pick up the rest of her stuff. She also wants to talk. I will post an update. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up here because the second part is really freaking long. And you're going to see how she tries to get him to come back. And like I said, she gets her ex, this old hippie that she and all his hippie friends used to take their time plowing her to try to convince this guy, who obviously has made up his mind, has a logical mindset, of getting back with her. Definitely entertaining, definitely one that you've not heard before. This is why I'm doing this one. Because I know we did a video yesterday about another gal that was having a meltdown because her guy kicked her to the curb or left her because he found out about her past. This is why I'm doing this one today, because it's that good. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below and what you think about this. And also, guys, you come across a great story like this, share, by all means, email to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I definitely will when I get the chance. This includes crazy types of stories like this you can find on Reddit, personal stories, articles, whatever. And this goes for the They Do What channel as well as the Strong Successful Male channel. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to any of those or just some, subscribe to them all. Because the more you subscribe, it helps me, promotes me on YouTube, and that way then more feminists get pissed off. So we definitely want to do that. And definitely stay tuned for part 2 later on. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.